All right, y'all. So I'm back at this project that I had started helping with a few months ago. I'll put a little link to the video that I made when I first started working on this property. And yeah, it's been a few months since I made a video on this property. So I wanted to do a proper little update. So just to recap, this property has no irrigation other than spot watering with some water jugs, as you can see down there. And we implemented this right before this summer, and this summer we had a super dry summer. And yeah, I just want to go through and check out what's going on and kind of explain how we went about doing this. So first thing I'm noticing is lots of jack beans. So this area here is the area that I had sort of, it was the template, so to speak, for this client to replicate around his property, because I didn't spend too much time on this property this summer because I knew that he could handle the workload and he had help doing stuff. So I focused on other properties where the homeowners needed more help. So so it's nice to be back and to see how good things are growing despite the super dry summer. So after the dry summer we've had a slightly moist and cloudy and somewhat rainy late fall winter. So it's been a super nice turnaround. Anyways, let's get back into it. So a lot of jack beans holding it down and really just pumping nitrogen into the beds. So the idea was that I showed the client how to make the beds and kind of what to plant into them as temporary placeholders. I always use certain plants as temporary placeholders so that they can pump nitrogen, they can work the soil with their roots before you plant something that you know you want to plant. So you have everything set up. You have the house, so to speak, built already for your plant to live in, as opposed to trying to plant your plant first and then build the house around it. You might as well. We have opted to build the house first, then have the plant later. So that's kind of what we're doing here. And you can see just a lot of pigeon peas and jack beans, and a lot of the nitrogen fixers are doing their thing. A lot of sun hemp as well. A lot of things like this. Let's see, what is this here? A jackfruit, I think. Aren't doing so hot. It's a little chilly this time of year. So some of the ultra tropicals don't do so well. And some things, some things didn't end up working. And that's the thing I like about this client. This client is not afraid to plant stuff. One of the attributes of being an agroforester is that you need to not be attached to your plants, because when you work with abundance, there's no holding on to a plant or feeling like it might not be the right move because there's no irrigation and things might die. And this client is just planting stuff and hoping for the best, which, there's a limit to that for sure. You don't want to be throwing your money down the toilet, but you might as, if they're not super crazy rare trees, then throw them in the ground, see what happens. So it looks like this tree definitely did not. This is a mountain soursop, Annona montana, a really nice species. I'm really interested in working more with this species. And this is a much more cold hardy soursop. So you can see it didn't really like the transplant. It probably didn't like the dryness, so it died back, but it's starting to put new growth. A lot of stuff is putting new growth on this time of year, which is really interesting considering it's about to be February soon. Tried some bananas. Like I said, the dry summer didn't like the dry summer all that much. Here's an Aki that's not doing so hot but might come back next spring. Some toilet paper plant. I see a lot of these. This is why I emphasize the accessory plants, and this is why I put so much priority on these pigeon peas and all the support plants, because when you're working with absolutely no irrigation on degraded land, you need to have something to jumpstart the system. And these pigeon peas are really doing a really good job of doing that. And we're starting to get some fungal activity. We're starting to get some life. Because this property it's very dune-like. You can see, I mean, a lot of Florida has sugar sand like this, so it's nothing new. But some places are more duney than others. And this is definitely a property like that. You can tell that moisture just wicks away very fast here. This is another mountain soursop from that. This one looks way better than the one I just showed you. Mountain soursop is going to be a key plant for agroforestry in Southwest Florida. I feel personally, it's just so amazing. It handles cold, drought, and it when you prune it, it just comes back like crazy. It's awesome. Another jackfruit here, looking pretty good. So the cool thing about this property is that there's a lot of earleaf acacias, there's a lot of pines, there's a couple huge swaths of saw palmetto, and all these plants give this area a nice little microclimate, so that whenever there are cold snaps or heavy winds, that some of these areas here do not get hit as hard as other areas. So that's one thing that this property has going for it, is that super nice microclimate. A lot of the jack beans are putting on these are the earliest jack beans that I planted, so these are ahead of the other jack beans that were planted later. But look at that, nice fat pods on them. With a really brutal summer to have gone through, this is really cool. And you know, the reality is, I expected there to be rain. I expected there to be a lot more growth here. I was kind of hoping that there would be more growth, obviously, but things really just stalled, and things didn't do too hot. But it was kind of cool. They were, like I said, they were stalling. As soon as the little trickles of rain started coming in the late fall, then boom, things just started, like, they were just waiting for that. When you have this much organic matter and moisture retention, I've noticed that that's what happens through heavy droughts, is that the plants will just hold on tight. They'll hold on to that organic matter, that moisture that's locked in there. And then as soon as there's a nice rain, they're able to just let go and boom, put on new growth. Whereas if you don't do the organic matter application beforehand, and we have rough dry summer like we did, then good luck. Some of those, even the more hardy and resilient plants, might not make it, because they only have this to try to work with, which is nothing. So let's keep going. There's this jackfruit, starfruit here that's slowly but surely just working its way back to life. A lot of these Mexican sunflowers are starting to stick. It just goes to show how dry it was, because Mexican sunflowers take off if they get a little bit of water and heat. That's all they need. And a lot of the Mexican sunflowers that we planted just didn't do anything this summer, but a few of them did. And all you need is a few to get things going. So it doesn't really matter. Here's a nice mango. So this client has a lot of mangoes and annonas and a lot of different types of trees. And so we'll see what we can find here. Looks like a tropic prince, peach starting to flower. Let's see what we got over here. Some more bananas. I'm really excited to see what kind of bananas these are and how they fare after some time. Nice Mexican sunflower. Another thing that we're doing is pruning the earleaf acacias, the ones that are close to the system at least, and utilizing their biomass a lot. And there's a lot of nice earleaf acacias here that have been helping provide some biomass, some long-term biomass. So these are the rows that he started working on. A lot of pigeon peas, just a bunch of pigeon peas, honestly. I think he was just scattering seeds, and look how densely they're planted, but it's okay. They're just pumping that nitrogen into the ground, which is what you want when you want to plant something there later. This mulberry is probably liking that. It was a mulberry that was looking super rough in the pot, and I planted it and pruned it. Well, he planted it and I pruned it back, so things are starting to pop, which is really cool to see. Here's a guava that's starting to pop, new leaves. Let's see. A lot of like these sisu spinaches and longevity spinach as well. Let's see if there's anything else in here. It looks like a lychee right here. So things are greening up. Here's an annona and another annona. Another star fruit. Mexican sunflowers are coming up. Another annona. And just keep going. And another annona. Let's find things of interest. Nice little windbreak kind of thing here with all these young earleaf acacias. Let's see what we have here. Some type of sapodilla, which is nice. Need some more organic matter on that one. Got some, what kind of mango is this? Maha Chinook. Putting on, starting to flower, I guess. Let's see, soursop right here. Really nice. Let's see. Now we're coming into this other area. It's pretty big system. So looks like a white zapote right here. Oh, let me get out of that. Acerola, Barbados cherry as well. We got some more Barbados cherries here. So this is another area that we're starting. So it's really cool. I mentioned this in one of the last videos I made about this property, but it's kind of nice. Like, this client will start a couple beds and maybe not finish them, and then I'll come by and put the last finishing touches on them. But it's really nice that we're on the same page. He understands the importance of constructing beds this way, and he's into it. So yeah, it's kind of nice to just walk in here and be like, all right, well, this, you looking good. I just need to finish these little things, and then he can just plant right into it. He doesn't have to worry about trying to make the beds perfect. I'm kind of more the perfectionist sometimes. So some more Barbados cherries, which is super nice. They're doing super nice here. Loving everything is probably loving this little microclimate here. Earleaf acacias on top, saw palmettos on the bottom. Really just holding down. This is the eastern side, so holding that down over there. Some more mangoes. Let's see what this is. Carry. This is the carry. Starting to flower. Lots of jack beans. So these are the jack beans that were planted after. They're doing good, helping things out. Look, I just tossed a whole bunch of pigeon pea seeds, and pigeon peas are very cheap, so I might as well. Just free nitrogen, pretty much, or next to free at least. Onion, like little onion starts, tastes good too. Little Suriname cherry. It's another mango. So a lot of grafted mangoes here. Kind of risky to plant them out here. It might get frost, but we witnessed that frost damage isn't as strong out here, so we're going for it. Might as well. Let's see. This is a nice little microclimate area as well. So some of these things are doing well here. Look at the that's a brain fart. What is that called? Monstera deliciosa. Here's a cool one. This is Araza. This is Eugenia stipitata. So the Eugenias, super beautiful. I've heard good things about this fruit. Hopefully it does well here. Also told this client about the importance of planting sensitive tropicals in these more microclimate shady areas that the earleaf acacias provide, so that when they're young and sensitive, they'll have the protection of the earleaf acacias. And then when they get bigger and can hold their own, we can prune back the acacias as needed and feed the said tree. But just a bunch of random stuff like this. I think he just planted a whole bunch of what are these, soursops, mountain soursops or something down in there. We can transplant those later. Just really love it. Really love the gung-ho-ness of just not thinking and just planting stuff. Sweet potato randomly in this brush pile here. Like, all these things are going to take off. That's the cool thing about working in this way, is that as you gain momentum and as you keep planting and as you keep adding organic matter and as you keep going and going and going, it's like an avalanche or like a snow. I don't know how to explain it, but it just keeps getting better and better and better and better and better and more and more and more, as opposed to, say, like an annual farm where you have to keep tilling the soil or keep replanting with something else because those things die after a few months, So it's really nice to see. It's something that never gets old for me, watching a property go from zero to, abundance. It's probably one of my favorite aspects of all this. More Mexican sunflower, more pigeon peas, more random bananas. Looks like yellow mamba and spondius right here, really nice. Got another mango. This is a Keat mango. This is a nice little area. Oh, look, a Suriname cherry. I don't know if I showed this already, maybe, but maybe not. I think this is another kind of mango. So again, putting a mango closer to the more protected area. Got some galangal. Let's see. Let's go out here now. This is a bed in process, So yeah, he's into it. I love it. I love seeing this. And then all I got to come through is maybe just refine it a little bit, put some mulch on top, and we're good to go. Got another, look at utilizing all the organic matter, getting into that beaver mindset. Love it. Another Cary mango right here close to the saw palmetto patch. Beautiful, beautiful saw palmetto patches here. They're just lovely, lovely things. Coming over here, we got another peach here. I'm sure the peaches aren't minding the colder weather. Another bed being made. Got a banana circle over here. He had started, and I just finished mulching the outer ring because it needs some support, some structure. Because if not, then it would have eroded away after a few rains. So this banana circle, really cool. Hopefully those bananas do well. If not, we can replace them with better varieties. And that's the beauty of working like this. You can always replace them with better things if the thing you planted didn't do well, and the new thing that you're going to plant has a beautiful new home to go into. I think this peach actually has little peaches on it. Look, I think that's it right there. Oh, well, you get it. This area is pretty cool. Has a lot of pigeon peas as well. I think that's the kind of the superstar of this system so far, is all the pigeon pea. Just how well they handled this drought summer. And pumping nitrogen into the ground, getting things moving, getting things working, turning that dune sand into something that's actually provides life to these plants. Another mango. So many mangoes. This fruit punch, dang, it's nice. But I just wanted to do a little update because it's been a while since I've made a video here, and things are coming along. They weren't as jaw-dropping as they would have been if we had like an epically rainy summer like we did last year. That was awesome. but it is what it is, and that's what happened. That's the reality of working with nature. Now going forward is just going to get better and better. If we have an epic rainy season next year, then we have all this mulch ready to soak, like get all that water and feed it to all these trees. So Valencia Pride VP, this is going to be a big boy. Beautiful pigeon peas. Jamaican cherry also just hanging on strong. This was planted before I even started working here, and it's been a trooper. You know, it's been, I think it frosted back to the ground and just came right back up. So that's another winner for this area as well. Let's see what we have. A lot more nonas tucked in here, but they're kind of just not doing too hot because of the winter. So I'm sure they'll pick up afterwards. Oh, I think there's a, let's see over here, a caimito over here. He put it in the shade of these 2 pines, 3 pines actually, and the earleaf acacias. So he's really utilizing the microclimates to his advantage, which is a super key thing to do when you're working like this. No irrigation and exposed to the elements. So you really want to use your microclimates to your advantage. Guava, Ruby Supreme, really nice. So things are looking good. They were looking a little rough there for a minute, I'm not gonna lie. This summer was brutal, but I think they're stronger trees for it at the end of the day. I personally believe they are. They weren't getting babied and watered every day. They were putting in work to stay alive, and now I think it's just all going to be downhill from here, but we'll see. Mango Spirit of 76. Wow, I never even heard of that. That's exciting. The noni putting on some little fruit too. So yeah, that's about it. Got a crazy nursery scene going on over here. But yeah, I think there's going to be some really good things to come here in this property. I'm excited to continue working out here, and I'll update you guys as we go on. Oh yeah, you can see I pruned this earleaf acacia back. It's really nice. When these earleaf acacias are young, you can prune them to how you want them, and they provide so much biomass. It's amazing. So anyway, that's about it. Peace.